Hey, everybody, welcome to the Jim Master Show Live. Good to see you guys again. Many of you for the second time today. Earlier today, we did a special pop-up episode of JMS Live, and it was really a cool episode. It was just you and I, myself, and the viewers, as they call themselves, the Lovedies, and we did a special pop-up episode this afternoon, which was really talking about living in gratitude and being grateful and counting your blessings and joys, which we talk a lot about during our evening shows. But we did a whole 1 hour, very special pop-up episode, and it was really something extra special. If you missed it, you could see it on our YouTube channel at jimmasterstv. Matter of fact, over 400 episodes, I think. This might even be our 400th episode. You guys have been really great at keeping count on the episodes. I'm so busy doing the actual episodes and hosting, producing the series, and then, in conjunction with my professional work in TV and radio, that I lost count how many shows we've done. I know we've done them since late April, early May. Next week is our 1 year anniversary of the Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, which is very special. In May, we're going to do a special 1 year anniversary episode. We're building that episode right now as we speak. The official 1 year anniversary is coming up in just a couple of days. It's next week. However, we're going to build we want to take some time to build a really nice, cool live episode with all of you and our guests and so much more. Coming up in May. So we'll announce that actual anniversary date. It's kind of like running off and eloping and then having the wedding party later. That's kind of what we're doing a little bit because we want to do it right and we want to do it in style. Good to see all the smiley faces, everybody watching literally from all around the world. We do have a global audience here on the show. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would absolutely love that. That helps the show. That helps the channel, of course, as well. Click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our pop-up shows like the one we did, Living with Gratitude and Living in Gratitude. That was a very special show again this afternoon. So the pop-up shows, the daily 7-day-a-week episodes of the Jim Master Show Live that we do, our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click that notification bell so you never miss any of the action. We always have a good time with all of you here on the Jim Master Show Live. Thanks to everybody who's been writing and who's been commenting, who's been sharing the links to the YouTube channel, Jim Master TV, but also to the Jim Master Show Live. We really thank you very much. All the private messages I get on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And those of you in our Facebook group we have designed just for this series, this show, it's called JMS Live Lovedy Hall. That's right. It's called JMS Live Lovedy Hall. Really, really cool. Something extra special just for you guys. And you guys are very active in it. Let's check in with some of our faithful. Hey, Jim, great pop-up today. The pop-up show, Living in Gratitude. Check it out. I think you'll really be inspired by it, folks. We're going to do more of those too for you. Happy to see you again. And hi, everyone. This is Kathleen, who's watching in New York City. Good to see you as well. We welcome you. Charles Chesler is here. It says, hi, Jack. Good to see you, Charles. Welcome. And Tesla Bella's here. So handsome, Mr. Loverty. Wow. Thank you, Tesla Bella. I appreciate that. We love you as well. Willie in Holland says, today is our 400th episode daily, 7 days a week since last May. Unbelievable. 400. Did I sign up for that? 400? 400. Congratulations. That is absolutely amazing. Thanks for keeping track of that. Hello, Jim and Lovely Squad. Happy weekend. Love the pop-up show we did, Living in Gratitude, earlier today. Thank you very much, Juanita. I really appreciate that. Something extra special for all of you and for some of the folks who tuned in and commented during the show. You can still see it again on our YouTube channel. Kathy Short says, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the weekend. Good to see you in Cleveland. And we've got all kinds of roses coming in on show 400 from Willie in the Netherlands. And Tess says, and she's in sunny Florida, good evening, Mr. Leverty. Hope you had a great day. So happy to be here with you and all. Tess, on our YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV, check out the pop-up episode we did this afternoon called Living in Gratitude. Knowing you as I do, I think you'll really enjoy that episode. She also says, the Lovedies, welcome Jack to Lovedy Hall. So looking forward to spending some time with you. Jack has watched our show. He's a fan of the Jim Masters Show Live. Jack Mulcahy is our very special guest, award-winning actor. He's waiting in the wings in our green room where we're feeding him lobster and champagne and fine chocolates. Maybe not. But we would think so, right? And Tess says, please subscribe to Jim Masters YouTube channel. Thank you, Tess. I appreciate that. That is the channel you're watching right now, Jim Masters TV. Thank you, Tess. Mary Bishop says hello to Jim and all the lovely friends. Yes. And if you're watching for the first time, male, female, doesn't matter your zip code, income level, religious views, political views, height, weight, eye color, none of it matters. Everybody is welcome to join us here on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. We're sort of patterning this show after the old school style talk shows. Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, Johnny Carson, Dick Cavett, Dick Clark. Warm conversational styles with a modern twist of today and with levity. Levity because I said that word accidentally on the air in the summer. So the viewers call themselves Lovedies. They call me Mr. Levity. They call this Lovedy Hall, and they welcome our guests with levity. And during the year that we've had, I think the world could use a little more levity, right? Merlin thinks so. She says, hi, Jim and all Lovedies. And 400 shows, 400th episode right here tonight of JMS Live. Merlin watches all the time in Canada. We welcome you as well. It's good to see all the smiley faces, everybody that's tuning in here. Wow, look at everybody here. Thank you very much for all these great comments. Thank you very much for all of this. Love on air and off the air. Happy 400th show. You've been a bright light for all of us. Well deserved. Thank you very much, Denise. When I hear that, that really does mean a lot to me. It really does. Cheers from Willie. And thank you, Willie. And also, Jim, you do all those men you mentioned proud. You make the world a better place. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we toast all of you. Hey, let's toast in style. We always toast on the show every episode, but let's toast to what is now, I guess, our 400th episode. And what do we have in here? No, this is not iced tea. It's Friday night. We've worked very hard. It's a little Sambuca. How do you think, how do you like that, Tess? A little Sambuca, just a little bit, just a little sweetness. Boy, I haven't had any in a while. It has that real licorice flavor, doesn't it? It tastes very, very delightful on a Friday night and a very, very busy week. Mary Bishop, thank you very much for the toast. And we're just about to welcome our very special guest to the show. He's all excited to be here. We're all excited to have him here as well. He's a great, great guy. I really love this picture. There's many pictures of him. Look at this one. That is fantastic. I love that one too. But he's a terrific actor, an award-winning actor. I just want to tell you a little bit about him, and then we will welcome him to the Jim Masters Show Live in style. We always welcome our guests in style, and hopefully he has something there he can toast with us. He started in the entertainment business as a lead vocalist and guitarist for various rock and roll bands around New York City. His first film role was in Porky's in 1982, directed by Bob Clark. After the sequel, Porky's 2, the next day, 1983, Jack appeared in several films, television shows, including Law and Order, NYPD Blue, all terrific shows, creating Lezar, Awakenings, and Cadillac Man. In 2006, he produced and starred in a play called Prime Time, written by Alex DeWitt and directed by Fern Lopez. He later appeared in the off-Broadway showcase of Friction. He's then appeared in 5 lead roles, including Stuck in the Middle and Reunion 108. He's even performed and appeared in a Snickers commercial. That is just the short list, folks. He's a prolific actor, award-winning, revered and respected in the industry. And guess what? He is here live and direct for all of us. There he is. Hey, Jack, welcome. You've got the toasts. Perfect.
400.
That's, I tell you. And
But
we've
I
worked
don't
hard.
see the lobster back here.
Oh, the lobster? Oh, they ran out of the lobster, huh?
How are you guys? Love to be here at Lovedy Hall. This is so amazing.
We welcome you. The lobster, they must have run out of it, but did you at least get some Ritz crackers or something?
Yeah, I got the crackers. Yeah.
Perfect. How are you? You look nice and comfortable and relaxed. And
I'm sitting here in my Upper West Side apartment that I've been living in since I was born. So you don't leave a 4-bedroom rent-controlled apartment in New York City on the Upper West Side.
No.
And but and this was actually, my office is now what used to be my maid's room, which has its own bathroom and its own suite, right? It's one of those things. And we just put this together, and now this is where I do filming, this is where I do my taping, this is where I do some recording. And yeah, it's my room, home, away from home, in my home.
Does that not sound like a play? My home, away from home, in my home.
It could be. How are you?
I was going to say they already did Fun Home, so you can't use that one.
Yeah.
Now you're very aware of the whole Lovity situation on the Jim Masters Show now, because you've watched our show, right? You've seen some of the past episodes.
Yes, and I would not. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm just going to say, everybody, YouTube, subscribe, Jim Masters Live. Okay, that's the thing. Hit that button.
Smash the button, like they say, right? Smash that button. Jim Masters TV. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ken is here. Here's some more Lovity coming your way. Ken Perlstein says, "Yo,
hey,
Jack."
How are
He's
you?
here. And Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio, one of our regular Lovity viewers, says, "Welcome to the show, Jack." Juanita is watching in South Africa. She's our regular Lovity viewer. Welcome to the show, Jack, from Juanita.
I've been to South Africa.
You've been?
Yes, I have.
What parts?
I've been on safari twice.
Very nice.
For an American Express commercial, so it doesn't get any better than that.
Welcome back to Lovity Hall from Merlin in Ontario, Canada. It's good to have you here as well.
Canada. My mom's Canadian.
Mary Bishop says, "Hi, Jack, and welcome." And she's in beautiful Pine Island, Florida. Not too shabby, huh? And just up the road a piece from there in Jacksonville is Ann Wozniak. A very warm welcome from Jacksonville.
They named that after me. They named the town after me, actually.
Oh, really?
The Thrill in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. That's it. They named a golf tournament and a college degree after me. Masters.
Really? Excellent.
I was already born with my master's. I was born with it. You know, it's funny when I talk on customer service, and Wozniak welcomes you. When I talk to somebody on customer service and they're trying to take down, your name, and I say Jim or James Masters, and they'll say, "Okay, Masters, how do you spell that?" And I'll say, "Masters. Do you know the college degree, or do you know the golf tournament?" "Oh yeah, Masters. Yeah, Masters." Masters. And then we'll get a piece of mail. I remember seeing mail come in when I was a kid, and sometimes it would say master, not masters, master. And when you've been masters all your life, it seems so incomplete to have the S gone. Master. It's like master. We didn't leave the last S off for savings.
When I would get mail as a child, it would be Master Dak Mulcahy. Right.
So that's what, Master James Masters.
James Masters. There you go.
The fifth.
I also need to put a shout out to Tesla Bella, who actually set this thing up for us. So
Tess is fabulous.
You are the best.
Isn't she great? We love her. I can tell you, I don't know if you know, but she makes the meanest chocolate chip cookies. And Italian cookies. And just about everything else.
Oh yeah.
And when I finally get down to Florida to see the family, because my mother's the youngest of 16. We have a huge family on my mother's side. We've got relatives on my father's side all over the country, Canada, everywhere. But the folks are in Florida. My sister and her husband and kids, they're in Florida. So we haven't been able to get there until now. Right. Double vaccinated, all good to go. Everybody's good. So when we are getting together real soon, it's going to be amazing. And I gotta see Tesla Bella while I'm there in FLA. I gotta see. There's a lot of people that watch I'm invited to dinner at like all these houses in Florida. I may have to take a couple of weeks and do the show on location from Florida at everybody's houses. We'll do it from the viewers' homes.
Yeah, and when we open back up, I am not turning down any invitations to anything.
To anything.
I'm going to everything.
Including funerals?
No, sure.
Just to get out of the house, even if they're not yours. Well, I say that because one of my friends, her mother, I won't say the name, her mother goes to other people's funerals and sits in the front row and just
As a filler.
as a filler, as a filler. Yeah. You know, there was this really cool cartoon a couple of years ago. It was black and white, and it was in one of the newspapers, and it was very funny. And it was talking about social media and how social media is. And the illustration was this man and woman standing at a casket, looking at, you know, obviously their friend that was in the casket. And behind them is all of these rows and rows of empty chairs. And then one other guy sitting in one of the chairs in the back row. And the illustration, the cartoon, is the woman looking at the casket with her husband, saying to the husband, gee, you would have expected a bigger turnout considering he had 2,000 Facebook friends. And the only ones were there were them and one guy in the back and rows of empty chairs. So there's friends and then there's friends, right?
That's you know, the whole social media phenomenon is like incredibly ephemeral. I mean, and everybody says it's not real life, but it certainly is a slice of what our lives are like right now. So
yes, absolutely. It's kept people connected in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Juanita says 400 dinners waiting for you, Jim. Oh boy, that sounds good. Tesla Bella says, absolutely, Jim. I love you to pieces, Jack from Tess. Charles says, looking good, Jack. And yo, Jack, and welcome to the show, Jack.
That's Jack's.
Christine Clifton in North Carolina says, Jack, welcome to the show tonight. You are now a lovety.
I am a lovety. And love you all.
Well, as I say to everybody that comes on the show, I said there's Grammys, Emmys, Tonys, Peabodys, Tellys, and Emmys. But when you get a lovety on the Jim Master Show Live, whew, how do you feel right now, Jack?
Well, I would like to thank my mom, and I would like to thank my adoring public, and you, Jim, and the rest of the people that put this incredible outfit together. And so, what more can I say? Cue the applause.
Cue the applause. Exactly, exactly. Anne says hello and congratulations on the 400 shows. Thank you very much. Willie says Sambuca. She loves Sambuca. Cheers, yay, Jack. Cheers from Kathleen. I tell you, lots of lovely. Welcome, Jack. Have fun with our Jim Masters. Kathleen in New York City. Hi, Jack. Welcome. And Kathleen is just so excited tonight because the last couple of nights she hasn't been able to be here. She lives in the city, but she works with the New York Mets. So then they've had a couple of night games. So she hasn't been able to be here live, which kills her. So she watches
the town. So
watches the archives. So now she's here rooting on the Mets from afar.
Yankee fan. So sorry.
You know, growing up in New York on Long Island, we went to both. We went to Mets, we went to Yankees. The Mets thing for me is because my father, who grew up in New York City, in Astoria, Dodger fan, Brooklyn Dodger fan. And most of the Dodger fans went when the Mets were created, the Mets were the team. But I think I love the Yankees too. I think the Yankees, I know there's some people that are like, what? You can't either or. If New York is in it, whatever it is, I root New York. I become all about New York, and regardless of the team, the Giants, the Jets, the Rangers, the Islanders, the whole bit. It's all about New York. But we went to the Yankee Stadium many, many times growing up as kids as well. Ken says, nice to meet you, Jim. Ken, welcome. Nice to have you here as well.
Ken Pearlstein, a wonderful actor in his own right.
You're jacked. He said he's jacked.
You see that?
I say that you can call me James, Jim, or Jimmy. Just don't call me late for supper. Folks, you have two Irishmen here, so it's going to be a lot of Irish crack tonight.
Oh, there'll be some crack. There'll be some crack, that's for damn sure.
I was going to say multiple times I've had to explain on the air when I say, especially with some of the Irish artists, Celtic Thunder, Celtic Womans, they're on from Ireland, Phil Coulter. And we say we're having a lot of Irish crack. I've had to explain and spell what it is for our audience here because if I say that, hey, Jim and Jack did crack last night on the air, we
Lots.
would probably be in the New York Post in the morning.
Oh, we had a lot of good crack.
We had a lot of good crack on JMS Live, CRAIC. We're talking about levity and all that fun stuff. So obviously, we've had a pandemic and we've had the economic situation, civil unrest and political craziness, and all of it in the same year. For you, how have you stayed connected, creative, and sane through it all?
Well, sane is relative term.
Relative. Everybody has said that answer. Everybody says that answer.
And, full disclosure, I'm 17 years sober. So when they were talking about the pandemic setting in, they said, well, you're just going to have to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got that down.
Yeah, you've been doing it.
I've got 17 years of days at a time, and it's been good. But as we were speaking while I was in the green room, I did one film in 2020, but I had front loaded an awful lot of films in 2019 that happened to be very, very good and out on the virtual film festival circuit. Several of them, including Girlboxer, Lauren McCann's Girlboxer, has won like 7 awards, including Best Actor for myself, and has been nominated over 15, 16, 17 times now.
Congratulations.
So that keeps you connected. But also, I got back to my roots of playing my music and my writing. And, I've got 5 episodes in of this Irish immigrant sitcom that I've been doing called Meet the McGillicuddies. And it's a story about an immigrant family that comes and moves to Hell's Kitchen. And then we're going to get into the political aspect of it. It's more of a dramedy than anything else. But I also had one of my short film screenplays, Disclosure, just staged live. And it was really fantastic. And when they were done with it, the first thing I'm thinking is like, I have to get this thing shot.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to put this all together. And it's been good. It's been really good.
So that's good, because you were telling me off the air in 2019, you had a lot of work. You were very busy and a lot of things in the can. So when 2020 came, as impactful as it wasn't as dramatic, only because you had this thrust of work the year before.
Yeah, it was
a blessing.
Well, blessing and a curse, because every time I've done a film festival, including Sundance, right, which I won for Brothers McMullen in 1995,
right,
work begets work. So you go to these film festivals in person, and you get to see other people's work. They get to see your people. They get to see your work, and then you can really just get a sense of people that you want to work with and that want to work with you. And I'm just that is probably the worst thing about the virtual film festivals.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different take on things. The feeling is not exact, doesn't match the feeling. It's funny because during the course of the year, because we have guests from all different backgrounds on the show, but when it was specifically artists, musicians, singers, actors, performers, a lot of them would say, Jim, back in May, maybe July, August, maybe even into September, the whole Zoom type thing and all of that, the virtual was okay. You know what I mean? Kept people sort of connected. But now that we're sort of into 2021 and here we are on the verge of May, they're like, boy, I really, that was good. Maybe I'll dip into it again, but I really need to be out there and hear the roar of the crowd. I need the energy. I need to feel that energy. I need to see people and hug and all those different things. You find that to be the case as well?
I do. And as an example, I'm a huge Yankee fan, as we just discussed.
Yeah.
And going to a ball game with only 10,000 people, I would go in a heartbeat. And we just started up our softball season. I'm also the commissioner of the Performing Arts Softball League in Central Park, which has had those permits for over 45 years. And just playing ball in the park was like such a breath and such a renewal of spirit and energy, and just seeing everybody, even though you can only see half their faces.
Yeah.
But it would always be like when the summer was over, you go, you hibernate, and then you come back, and then you have to relearn everybody's name that you forgot.
Right. Are you Vinny or are you Freddie? Yeah.
Yes. Would you please put your name on your mask so I know who you are? But yeah, I mean, but the energy that you get from the human contact is like nothing else. And that's what we all need. We are really, really starving for it. And with, Mayor de Blasio declaring that New York will open fully by July 1st, and then the governor weighing in saying, oh, it's going to be much earlier. I'm just going to take it again a day at a time and, just start to live my life as I lived it before. So
I had heard that some of the smaller theaters can open somewhere around July, like you say, and then Broadway itself, possibly September.
yes, September.
So that's
I
that's
mean,
good
as a matter of
news.
fact, I had tickets to go see American Buffalo at Circle and Square like 2 weeks before the thing shut down completely. And it was just like, oh my God, it was like Sam Rockwell was going to be
Yeah.
like, I mean, it was going to be amazing.
Well, everybody I talk to, again, those that are in the arts have said, oh, 2020 was my year. I worked so hard. I had so many things planned. So many things were booked, sold out, ready to go.
Yeah.
And then boom. And many were in the middle of things, either just starting some shows and things were already into like their third week. And then.
Yeah, well, every soundstage in New York was booked. I mean, completely booked. I mean, it was just like, load them in, load them out, load them in. I mean, the Marvel series, everything else, and when I was doing like Blue Bloods, there would be like 4 shows on each corner. You have FBI here, you'd have Blue Bloods here. I mean, you have Quantico over there. It was an amazing. The burgeoning work was just amazing. It was just robust and everybody was working. And then all of a sudden a screeching halt. And we as human beings just aren't used to that. But we adapted as well as I could possibly imagine we could. And if people would just like keep their masks on, just keep it cool, just do the things. I mean, we would have been out of this an awful lot quicker. But, that being what it is, we're like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm so grateful for that.
There's a certain energy, a certain vibe that I'm getting as well. I just did a virtual, usually one of the hats I wear, many hats that I wear in television and radio as a host, a lot of different shows I host and PBS and everything, is a lifestyle travel TV series. And we haven't necessarily been able to go to a lot of the places because a lot of them are restaurants that have been closed. And I usually go in and I cook with the chef. We sample the food, we feature the restaurant. So we've been doing some of those virtually, where the chef is in his kitchen and I'm here and we do it. And we just did another one today and it was terrific. Mm-hmm. But the excitement and the energy, even when I was at PBS recently, the public television station, we were doing some segments for upcoming music shows, concert specials. And, in a 6th-floor building with offices and studios and the whole bit, there was probably 7 people in the entire building. Everybody was still working virtually from their homes, which was a very eerie, the only people that were there were the camera people, the producer, director, my co-host and myself. And that was about maybe a couple people in the offices upstairs. And that was about it. And it was to see such a big building. It was just so odd, but it's coming back now. It's starting to come back. But the thing is, and we've talked about it a lot on this show, I hope that when it comes back fully, or as it's trickling back, we don't forget any of the lessons, the teachable moments, the pause that we've had. I hope we come back more, kinder, empathetic, compassionate, and more unified. If we just flip the switch and go right back to the way we were prior to this happening, at the start of last year, it wasn't so hot in many ways. We were really being torn apart and divisive and violence and just everything you see going on. I'm really hoping that maybe that this was a pause that could be looked at in some ways, as horrific as it's been for many, as a gift of some sort for the rest of us who are still here carrying on.
Appreciation, gratitude, and just an understanding that life is so incredibly precious that something like this can just completely shut us down without warning, right? Without a warning entirely. And I think coming back from this, I feel as if I have been a lot more generous with my time And with my ability to connect with people and to have them reach out to me, and I continue to try and be as accessible as possible. And where I can help, I will help. And as we say, because I'm also a member of SAG-AFTRA, and I'm a representative. I'm on the local board. I've been a national board alternate. I'm the vice chair of two very big committees, the National Low Budget Film Committee and the SAG Indie Film Committee. So we're talking about service. And when you do those kinds of things, you are in service. As a matter of fact, I met Tess when we were at a convention in October of 2019, which seems like so long ago. But that is in service to our fellow members. And these are the institutions here in America that really need to be bolstered and need to be respected, because these are the things that keep the middle class strong and keep everything moving forward. And when you work for somebody else, right? I mean, like your fellow brother and sisters, when you do that, there's just a sense of fulfillment that is like no other.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, and that I think is one of those teachable moments, one of those lessons we've sort of learned during all of this, is that it's those simple things, it's those connections, it's the things that sometimes we always say we don't have time to deal with, and the moments that are oftentimes not savored because we have to move off to the next thing. We got to go tackle the next thing. We got to. Yeah, so busy and texting and cell phone calls and all the stuff we have to do. So one of the things of many that has really been a godsend for many is the arts. A lot of people have been listening to music and, looking at things virtually as well, watching classic movies on TV and old TV shows and comedies, and working out in the yard, gardening, going to nature. A lot of these things that have been here for a long time and will outlast us as far as nature and things like that, people have been going to, and the arts is one of them. And just another case for supporting and protecting the arts, right?
Yes, completely. And I'd like to give a shout out to one of the pages on Facebook, and friends of mine, Michael Puri Jr., and he's got this thing called Socially Isolated Script Readings that he started just a little less than a year, a little more than a year ago. And we would meet every Saturday night, all playwrights, and then if you needed to act or wanted to act, you could just like throw your name in the pool. And he did 250 scripted pieces, never missed a week in 52 weeks straight. And that was one of the many lifelines that we had.
Yeah.
And that inspired me to finish up with the McGillicuddy saga. And I got to have 4 of those read, and it was just like an amazing lifeline, if you will. And it just, it fed your artistic heart and your soul. And there's really, really nothing to compare to it, except for doing it live.
Except for doing it live, exactly. There's nothing tops live, because people say, Jim, you could easily, even some guests will ask, so when do you tape, when do you record? And I said, actually, we do it live, because I just love, there's something about the energy and the connection of live, and that anything can happen. And if something happens, that's when you are oftentimes at your best, because I've had that where I've been on television where things have gone awry, and they've kept the camera on me and said, Jim, do not walk off that set. You cannot, we have nothing else to go to. I was mentioning it the other night. You got to keep talking. That for me is gold.
Yes, exactly. And Shakespeare said the play is the thing, right? And that's because we as actors understand, like, you could go into a room full of actors and what have you been up to? Oh, I just shot a national network spot, or I just got a recurring guest star. If I walk in and I go, I'm doing a play, every actor will turn his head and go, oh, really? Tell me about it. Because we know how incredibly fulfilling, but also how incredibly fucking frightening it can be, right?
Right.
I mean, live performance is like high wire, no net. There you go. And it's also an actor's medium, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's a director's medium, but once you are on that stage and that curtain comes up, it's all you and it's all your partners. And
how'd you get started, in this? What drew you to performance and acting? Of course, prior, you had this prolific and have this wonderful musical career. Let's talk about that too. People might forget about that because they know you so much as an actor.
Well, yes, and well, except for my Snickers commercial, but I can play you that later on if you like.
Did you get to eat a lot of them, or do you have a lifetime supply?
Cases of them. They sent me cases of them, and I would like take them down to the softball fields, and I would be the most popular guy in town. But how it started was, we had my cousin Patty, right, lived with us when she was going to school here, and she would play her Elvis Presley rock and roll records on her little Victrola, and me, 4 or 5 years old, would like watch his master's voice. He would watch Nipper spinning around, and within 2 spins, I knew all of the lyrics and I knew the song. And I would say, and these people would be standing there, like looking at me like I had 3 heads. I was like going, how did you do? I was like, that's what I do, right? So music was my first love. And that, Bert, I had my first bands when I was 16 years old. And then I did that for quite a long time until I got my first featured role in a feature film, and that was Porky's. And that was actually not a featured role. It was like a glorified extra. But after about 2 weeks, the people at 20th Century Fox saw me in the rushes, is what they called them back then, and asked Bob Clark, the director, who I was. And Bob says, well, he just came down. He's a protege of mine. And they go, write him into the script. And before you know it, I had my Screen Actors Guild card. I had 7 weeks of work. And all of a sudden, I had what I didn't know at the time, a $200 million film about to break. And so we shot the sequel, and here I am 150 television shows and theater credits and films later. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind.
When you look at that body of work, in addition to what you just described, what are some of those key moments for you, Jack, that were really door opening opportunities? This happened, and because this happened, boom, this flood of other happened, which was all positive.
Well, it was pretty much, I was doing a lot of under 5 stuff. I was doing, a lot of background work on Law and Orders and all the other TV shows that were, being shot here in New York as the work was coming back to New York. And then I met a kid on my softball team, my McAleer softball team, the pub on Amsterdam Avenue. And he came up to me and we started talking in the bar, shooting darts, drinking beer. And he starts telling me about this story about 3 Irish American brothers and how they were dealing with relationships and fidelity and religion. And we were finishing up, and, we're kind of drunk at the end of the night. And we're like, oh, we're going to make the greatest movie ever. But then I didn't hear from him for 6 months. Then he calls me up. He goes, hey, Jack, it's Eddie Burns. Listen, I got $15,000. We're going to shoot the movie, okay? So click. And I was like, oh, okay. So it took us on weekends to shoot this tiny little thing on $15,000. Then I didn't hear from him for another 6 months. And then the phone rang again. He goes, hey, man, pack your bags. We're going to Sundance. Click. And I was like, Sundance Film Festival. Yes. Go to Sundance. Figured, after the first screening, it just completely exploded. And after 4 screenings, I was like, with the award ceremonies coming up, we'd probably win an audience, award or something like that, because there was so much great competition. Living in Oblivion, Safe, Once Were Warriors. I mean, all these wonderful, wonderful films. We wound up winning Best Picture. And from that point on, I got great representation. I could pretty much get in to see anybody that I wanted. And, everything pretty much started for me there. And, life began at 39 years old for me at that point.
What a great opportunity, huh? What a great story.
Yeah. It's the power of saying yes, right?
That's exactly right. And Charles Chesler says, great story. Marlon asks, do you sing and play instruments?
Yes, I do.
We were talking about that. Let's talk about the musical side of things too, being in the rock bands and so much more. When did you start doing that? Were you a teenager?
Yeah, I was a teenager. I started my first band when I was about 16 years old.
What was the name?
Pig Iron.
Big Iron.
And then we had another one called Riverside Drive. And then we had another one called Jackson and the A-Men, which was a really cool band. And we did an awful lot of Southern rock stuff and covers and what have you. And then I started working at Atlantic Records as, just a studio rat. I would barter my time for like studio time. And, I got to work with such artists as George Benson and Hall & Oates and Chaka Khan and some of the most amazing producers, Jimmy Douglas, who produced Foreigner. And then one day we were listening to some recordings, and Mick Jones walked in, and he said to me, so I understand that you're singing. He goes, "This is you?" And I said, "Yeah, this is me." And he says, "How would you like to join us for the road trip? Your double vision, hot-blooded tour." I was like, "Please, Mick, don't play with me." And he goes, "If you can get permission from your mom, you can come. You can be a live on stage background vocalist." Boom, there it was. And that was just an eye opener, because I was about 22 years old. They were the hottest band in America, and it was an amazing thing when you see the big machine behind their best artist. Right there you are wanting for nothing. Everything is pretty much done for you. And these guys were just such professionals. And I mean, Lou Gramm had one of the greatest rock and roll voices ever. So it was a wonderful education for me.
Were you ever torn between music and acting? Was it ever a choice for you, or you've always stayed in both?
No, because music is my first love, and that's innate, right? And when I saw something like Crazy Heart, Jeff Bridges' wonderful, award-winning performance, that is what I'm like gearing towards, to write a feature film about that, about an aging rock and roller, who finds his roots again. And it's not like we're going to put the band together again. It's just like he finds his voice again, right? Because your voice does change over the years.
Yes.
It gets more soulful and gets more life into it, I mean, you may not be able to hit all the high notes you used to, but it's kind of like when you look at John Prine. He got older and older. I mean, his voice, and he kept moving his capo up a little bit, and he was just like, he couldn't hit those notes anymore. Not that he had like the most powerful voice to begin with, but he had life, and dropped truth on us like you would not believe. And him and Leonard Cohen and all these guys are just amazing artists.
Mine has lowered as time has gone on, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
One day we'll wake up and have Barry White's voice.
It can be a bad thing.
So you've been enjoying the ride, which is really cool, and the experiences. You've dabbled in a lot of different things: stage, film, television. Do you have? Is there a preference? Do you love the television or the film?
They always say, what was your favorite role? And I always say my next one.
They already asked that already, some of the Levities. Juanita said, "Jack, what was your favorite role so far?"
My next one, right?
The next one.
But I mean, I would have to say, I did a thing called The Jersey Devil. Joe Pepitone, not the baseball player, but his nephew actually wrote and directed it. And I won a Best Actor award for that at the Atlantic City Film Festival, where I played Lucifer. So I got to play the devil. And putting this character together, you're kind of like, okay, do I want to play him like Pacino in Devil's Advocate? Or do I want to play him like Ted Knight, kind of a buffoon? So I was like, okay, I think he's going to be like really, really well dressed, but he's losing his power and he's kind of senile. So that was an amazing kind of preparation for a role, and I just reveled in it, and I just absolutely loved it. But also my my role as Charlie Doyle in Lauren McCann's Girlboxer is really. I will send you the link, and you can check that out, because he's a really nefarious character, former IRA guy, who's into some really, really, dodgy stuff, as we say.
We actually have the trailer to Girlboxer.
You want to play it?
Yes. Preface it. Give us a little more teaser about what it is and how, and the name and the title, the whole thing.
So Lauren McCann, who is it's her brainchild. She wrote it, she directed it, and she stars in it. and she's a woman in the film whose husband is in jail again. She's raising her own daughter by herself. She's bartending. She's trying to take as many shifts as she possibly can. When all of a sudden, one of the other bartenders, says to her there was a way that she can make money at night boxing, like a fight club, right? But for girls. And unbeknownst to her, there is like some really, really bad characters behind it all, Russian mob and the Irish mob. And I own the bar where all this stuff takes place. My name is Charlie Doyle, and I've got a brother named Danny, who's just come back from Ireland after I staged his fake death in Ireland 5 years before. And, well, I think I've prefaced it enough. Why don't we just...
I like that. I think I've prefaced it enough. Yeah. Don't you just love the word preface?
I love that.
Preface, plethora, those are all great words.
That's great.
All right, here is the Girl Box trailer. Enjoy it, folks, and we'll be back with our special guest, award-winning actor and musician, Jack Mulcahy, live from New York.
Beautiful girl, my brother.
This that can work.
I have a connection to some money-making after hours.
On the Russian. Everything on the Russian. Fantastic.
Wow. I mean, if that's not a teaser, I don't know what is.
It's a great teaser,
Wow.
and it has just taken the film festivals by storm, and Lauren is in the process of sketching out, a feature film as well as the series. So Viacom is interested. We're talking to some people, and I think it's going to be good.
Charles, I agree with Charles. He says, bam, absolutely. You got it, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
Spot on. Juanita says, oh, a must watch and fantastic from Willie in the Netherlands.
Fantastisch.
Yes, she's watching in Holland right now.
Love
and
it.
Looks good from Kathleen in New York. And Christine says, looks intense. Great clip. She is in North Carolina, one of our faithful lovedies. And Mary in Florida says, looks great as well. It does look really cool. I was in something, it was a short-lived TV series. You might have heard about it. It was on FX. Mm-hmm. And I was cast to be one of the educators, and we had filmed our scenes in New York in Westchester. I forget which college it was that we did it, but it was a crew of thousands. It was quite a thing. But it was a FX series called Lights Out. Mm-hmm. And it was about this guy, this former boxer who obviously had aged, time had come through and passed. Mm-hmm. And his daughter was in a situation where she wanted to go to school. She wanted an education. She wanted to better her life. And he wanted to help her do that. But there was no money to be had. So one of the choices that he had was to come out of retirement, having not boxed for years and years and years, and being much older and weathered and more limited, and to try to take that on up against some of the really young boxers that were out there. And it was a really cool concept, a great story. Yeah. It ran for a bit, and it just didn't, it was on FX, and FX was new at the time. A lot of people didn't even know where to find FX. They think, are you saying special effects or something? No, FX, the network. But it was cool to be a part of that, and I had an opportunity to be on Law and Order, which was really cool as well. Now, you've had an opportunity to be really immersed in that world too. Law and Order, Blue Bloods, which is a spectacularly written and produced and shot show with Tom Selleck and the gang. It's such a well done show, isn't it?
I mean, it's when you walk in on a professional set like that had been, by the time I got on the show, it had been on the air for 9 years. And do you know that I had 13 auditions for that show before I landed this role, the guest star role, and it was well worth it because I got to work directly with Tom and with Bob Clohessy, who I just absolutely adore. Actually, Bob and I have been in 3 other films before, but never in the same scenes, and that happens an awful lot in New York too. And so I got to meet Tom on the first day, and one of my union buddies, Clyde Kusatsu, who was a former Los Angeles president of the Los Angeles local of SAG-AFTRA. The day before I was to shoot, he sent me a text. He said, "Please tell Tom that Clyde said aloha." And so I get on the set, and Tom comes up to me. He says, "Very nice to meet you, Jack. I look forward to working." I said, "Well, we have a friend in common, Clyde Kusatsu." And his eyes just lit up because Clyde had done 57 episodes of Hawaii Five-0 with him, right? So that's what I'm talking about, the generosity of soul. Like Clyde didn't have to do that, but it made my interaction with Tom so much stronger, right? And we really, really had a good time exchanging because it was pretty adversarial, right? He was about to fire me for something that I like, I don't know if you saw the episode, but it was pretty intense. And and the one thing that I did notice when we got on set, there were no microphones anywhere. The entire room was mic'd, and you didn't have to have the vampire clips. You didn't have to have any sound guy, mic you up or anything like that. It was so wonderful.
Yeah. And the show is still steaming along on CBS and still doing so well. And the casting is outstanding. Yeah. Everybody that's a part of that is perfect for that.
Yeah.
And it's just so well, what I like is I like the dynamic where it's not just about solving the crime and the usual stuff that we see all the time. And, the corpse shots and all that. There's the family dynamic and about what it's like, doing that job and what it's like to be able to, have and balance family life with doing that job and the trials and tribulations of it all. So you have the family and then you have the actual assignments and what they're doing. And that dynamic, I think, it's brilliant to have thought of that because it also attracts a wider variety of viewers, people who might really be into the solving of the crime, people might be into the family dynamic, and those who like both elements of the production. So I think it was smart doing it that way.
Is really a family because they've been together for so long. As a matter of fact, Abigail, who plays Baker, the tall, beautiful blonde girl, her episode a couple of weeks ago where she got mugged and beaten up. I mean, I was just like, oh my God, get this guy.
Yeah, right. You get attached to them, right?
You get attached to them, right? Because you are part of the family now.
So television, I mean, do you love television? If somebody came along and said, hey, we'd like you to star in a new drama or even a sitcom, anything, would television be on that list?
Well, I always tell all the young actors that are coming up behind me, there's 3 reasons why you do a project, right? The director, the money, and the role. Right. If you can get 2 out of the 3, I would say take it.
And would you say it's in that order? What is that? Is that interchangeable?
I think money is the last one, right? Yeah. I've done an awful lot. I did Brothers McMullen for pretty much nothing. I didn't get paid until we got signed by Fox Searchlight.
Exactly.
But you do it because that's what you do and you love it. I just don't like to be taken advantage of that because every actor should know what his value is. But it's about, director, role, and money, right? But if you can get 2 out of 3, I would say do it. If you do all 3, it's a no-brainer. But if it's only 1, you better think about it, right?
Yeah, right.
But if somebody offered me a series, of course. I mean, and if it was a series shot here in New York, I mean, my God, best of all worlds, right?
Yeah.
So,
do you lean drama? Do you like comedy?
Well, I do. Well, I'm Irish, so I love comedy.
You have to. Comedy's born.
I'm Irish, but I also love drama. So it's like anything.
So you like dramedy? Dramedy.
I love dramedy, and I do love stuff that is just like well written, right? Well crafted, and that was one of the things that I loved about Lauren's Girlboxer. And even though Charlie Doyle didn't have an awful lot of dialogue when he did speak, it was really to the point. And it was like, you got it, right? And that was like a real challenge for an actor to act without saying the words themselves. And then I've had, films where I've had 14 straight pages of dialogue, So it's all about storytelling, right? And And I don't think the craft of storytelling has left us.
No, right.
It's moved to television now, because television is film and film is television now, right? And the technology has flipped the script entirely.
And
right?
now the internet, the Netflixes and the Hulus and the
And they have
Amazon.
shows that are only 8 to 10 episodes, whereas when we were kids, it's 26 episodes of network TV, right? Now you can have as few as 6.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really amazing when you think about it. We have another clip here. Girlboxer Irish, is it Lullaby?
Oh my God, yes. Yes. This is Tura Laura Laura. This is the wonderful and talented Molly Gazay, who is the singer in the pub. And this is the first time you get a sense of who Charlie Doyle is.
All right, let's take a look at that right now. More with Jack Mulcahy live in New York and Girlboxer. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. This is the Jim Masters Show live. And fill up those glasses and watch those color teenies fly through the air. I think it was Tom Snyder that used to say something about the color teenies fly through the air. Good old Tom. All right, here's Girlboxer.
That's an Irish lullaby. Thank you. Y'all get home safe now.
You all get home safe now. I just love that. Was like right there. And props to our DP, Dominic Savilli, who is just an amazing, amazing cinematographer. His sense of darkness is just absolutely beautiful. He's also the one who cut the trailer. So,
who are some of the people over the years that you've really either looked up to or who have inspired you, whether they are fellow actors, they are directors, producers? Are there folks that you've just really gravitated towards and you've admired their work along the way and either have maybe gotten a chance to work with them or always wish that you could?
I did a play that was that opened out of town in Nyack at the Helen Hayes Theater. That was directed by the one and the late great Blake Edwards. And Katie Huffman was my leading lady. It was called Big Rosemary. And who would show up to rehearsals but Dame Julie Andrews? And there was nothing that I could possibly say or do, right, to contain myself.
No,
she was in the audience. And there was one time we were doing tech rehearsal. There was only maybe 1 or 2 people in the entire theater, 400 seats.
Yeah.
Just as I was about to make my entrance for just tech, it wasn't for the show, one of the cast members says, "Oh, don't look nice, but Dame Julie is in the audience." And I turn, I go, "You had to say that."
Yeah.
And I went out and I did my thing. And then I got to meet Julie, and she goes, "Jack, I've heard so much about you. Blake has been really, really happy with your work." And I sat there very sheepishly, and I just looked at her and I said, "Do you have any notes?" And she smiled and she looked at me and she said, "Well, do you know when you tell Katie that you love her, I want every woman in the audience to feel as if you were saying it just to her."
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at her and I'm like, what an amazing note. I mean, that's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, these brushes with greatness are always wonderful. And I think
that's great advice, because
it's wonderful.
It's we were always trained in school, especially with television, because with television you have, and if it's a situation where it's just you on camera and you're looking directly at that television.
Yeah.
A lot of times, as you know, that scares people. That throws them off when you have that big box and sometimes it's coming closer to you and it has the big eye and they're adjusting the lens and it looks like a huge, angry cat's eye coming at you. And a lot of people flip out. They're like, there are millions of people watching. And one of the things, like Dame Julie Andrews, brilliant actress as she has been, and so much more, told you, it's so true, because that's what we were always told. When you look in the camera, think of one person that you're talking to. Think about your grandmother. Think about somebody you really care about and love. Don't think about the thousands or the millions that are watching, because that's going to trip you up. That's going to freeze you. You're going to panic. Just think about and just make it like you're talking to one person.
Yeah, right here, right
Brilliant
now.
advice, isn't it?
Just you and me right here, right now. And,
Right.
you know,
Absolutely brilliant advice.
I could not have received a better note. But also the wonderful thing about encounters like that as an actor is that you feel as if you belong in this community, right?
Yes.
We're always filled with so much self-doubt, and even as much success as we've had, if you don't have continued success, all of a sudden you start, that doubt starts to creep in, and you have to you have to ward it off, because it's as Charlie Chaplin said, in the end, it's all a gag, right?
Yes.
And when you think about that,
Yes, all the world's a stage.
all the world, and we each must play a part. And I mean, it's so true. It's so true.
So you've learned a lot along the way while doing the work. You've picked up some of those nuggets, those invaluable nuggets along the way that just enhance your performance. And I'm sure you, being you, Jack, have also inspired others and sort of, mentored others upcoming by passing on some of that richness of that advice, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I first set foot on the set of Porky's, I was in a world of wonderment, right? I had no idea. I mean, I would see a cable this thick. I'm like, well, where's that go to?
Yeah, what's that?
And then I would see what the lighting guys do, what the grips do, and what these people do. And then I saw how, it's just like a beehive of workers. And, there was one particular actor who was a seasoned actor at the time, Art Hindle, and God love you, Art. I hope you're watching this. But he was the one guy who put his arm around me and he said, "Hey, kid, stick with me. Hang out with this guy. Don't hang out with that guy. Just keep your powder dry. I think things are going to work out." And you know what? They did. And I cannot ever not pay that forward, right?
Exactly right. Beautifully said. That's right. And lessons learned and teachable moments. And then another thing that we have to do in life, we have to laugh. You got to have levity. You got to lighten the load as much as possible, which is my segue to the next clip, which is Laugh in 60 Seconds. Tell us about, was that not a smooth segue, my friend? Wasn't that?
Well, this is just a compilation of so many things that I have done over the years. And, they always want, can you send me a reel? It's, I've been in the business for so long. If I got to send a reel, I'm going to do a really, really cool reel of some of the really wild stuff that I've done. And, and I did it for me. I didn't do it for a professional thing, but there is some, not suitable for work language in here, folks. I do want to warn you. And there are some Jersey Devil clips in there. So take a look, have some fun. Next 60 seconds are going to be a wild ride for you.
All right. Hang on. Fire up the color teenies. Laughs in 60 seconds with Jack.
Can I help you enjoy that Snickers?
And her body is responding quite nicely.
How is he, Doctor?
He's lost a lot of cheese.
Yes. I mean, no. The other part. Say it again.
I can see it. And I'm the hallmark of mental health.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't have time for this shit.
You're a better man than me.
No, that's not a stretch. Are you throwing another Puerto Rican pity party for yourself again?
Part of the eco biosystem. Or is it bioecosystem? I'm not sure. But whatever it is, it's great. Well, Cheevers, that's strange because your file says you jerked off to death. It's a European thing. Don't be so close-minded. What the fuck is an easy pass?
When we get home, you're gonna wish you had married Lorena Bobbitt.
Say what?
On the Russian. Everything on the Russian. Fantastic.
Sorry for the curse words, Mom.
Your mom, right? She will talk to you later when she calls you. That is
Oh my.
so
good.
good variety of clips from all different performances shows your versatility as well,
Yeah.
huh?
One was that Kraft mac and cheese thing.
Yeah.
Which was so hilarious.
Yeah.
And it was part of a whole, like, I think there were like 7 or 8 clips, and that was all that it was. It was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
mac
Condensed.
and cheese TV or something. Kraft TV is what it was called. And so,
The
that was hilarious. And I
well,
remember going into the audition, and when I delivered that line, completely dead space. Both the guys behind the desk were like going, "That's it, you got it."
that's
You do?
yeah. Tess says bravo, and Willie says thanks. She enjoyed it. And Juanita says great reel, and Mary says excellent. Merlin has claps, claps, claps. But Merlin also asks, I didn't even know they had a song. I know Kit Kat had a, give me a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Can you sing the Snickers song?
Snickers
The
song.
Snickers have a song?
Oh my God.
Oh, look, Merlin, you're getting your wish.
So-
He's got a guitar.
So when I do come from, up to the desk and the kid Jamon, who's like a great actor, when he's like taking a bite out of it, I'm supposed to be his boss. We shot it in a rug store in Astoria, Queens. I mean, go figure. And I pull this guitar out of nowhere and I say, "Can I help you enjoy that Snickers?" And he looks at me like I'm crazy, and I just say, "Happy peanut soar over chocolate-covered mountaintops and waterfalls of caramel. Prancing nougat in the meadow sings a song of satisfaction to the world." The world.
I love that. Now, since you've got that guitar there, can you raise that up? That looks like a beautiful guitar.
This is a 1976 Guild. It's just amazing, and it's chocolate. Look at that, baby.
Look at that. Yeah. Could you lift it higher so we actually see the body of it?
There she is. Amazing.
Wow. That is nice. That is nice. We have run right over there to the, well, I guess it would be your camera left there. But I love that one. I like the chocolate. Since you have it, yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's tuned beautifully. The one that you have, you want to play a little more for us? Since, I mean, we can't just do Snickers, right? And the audio sounds great too.
Let me tune it up.
Yeah, yeah. And you can play anything you want. Merlin says, thank you. Love it. Juanita says, wahoo. Absolutely, Tess and Kathleen and Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
We are unplugged tonight on the Jim Masters Show Live. Kathleen remembers that song, the Snickers song.
Yeah, I mean, it ran for ran for close to 2 years. I mean, you just don't get one of those like that.
No. I one of my friends actually in college in New York, he was the guy, and every once in a while they resurrect it. He is the guy, if you remember the Maxwell House coffee commercial. No, not Maxwell House. This was Folgers.
Oh yeah.
And it was the Christmas commercial where it's snowing. He's dropped off he comes out of a VW Beetle. It's snowing. He goes into the house. His parents are sleeping. His sister's sleeping in her bed. It's Christmas. He comes in. He has gifts. He places the gifts down by the tree. Then he goes into the kitchen and starts making the coffee.
I remember it.
The aroma of the coffee goes upstairs and wakes up the parents and the sister. And they're all excited that he's home from college. And he goes, I'm home. Merry Christmas from Folgers. Back in college, he did that when he was of college age. They just brought it out of the vault like a year ago and resurrected it.
Well, I've seen a couple of commercials. My friend Mike McGlone, who played my younger brother in Brothers McMullen, he had a whole slew of Geico commercials.
Oh yeah.
And they ran forever. He did like 7 of them. And then they went away, and then they pulled them back like after about 5 or 6 years. It's just like, oh my God, they got to do the Snickers thing. We got to write them in and say, hey, we need to have that Snickers guy back.
They did that with actually one of my friends is the guy that did Verizon. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
And
now he's with Sprint.
Well, that's the thing. He's from the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area. And we were at a gathering once, some sort of a gala. He had a new independent film that he was producing, and I emceed this big red carpet event. And we were talking about everybody was asking him about the Verizon commercial, of course. And he said that commercial with him in it and the various versions of it ran for 11 years. It paid for college. I mean, it paid for everything.
Oh yeah.
And then Sprint contacted him. So he now does Sprint, and he says something like, can you still hear me now or something? You know, it's
fantastic. I mean, I had another friend of mine, Ralph Buckley, who was like the lotto guy, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And he I would
New York State Lotto.
Yeah. And he would have to like be incognito pretty much everywhere he went. It was like crazy. And I played softball with Ralph in the Broadway Show League. So yeah, and I've done my share of great commercials too, but the Snickers one was just like one of those, as we call them.
What were some of the other spots that people may remember that you were in?
Let's see. I had done a Brothers computer commercial.
Oh yeah, remember Brothers?
A Valtrex commercial.
Valtrex.
Yes.
Now, do you have to sample the product?
Oh my God. It was like, or just like, is there truth in advertising? There is not. Anyway, but the Valtrex and the Snickers commercial were playing at the same time. So, I mean, the movie was incredible, but it was like, the Valtrex thing, pharmaceuticals pay so much money. I mean, it like outstripped the Snickers spots like by 3 to 1. Because they would just roll them and roll them and roll them. It's just like, so I had friends call me up, I hadn't seen in years, and they'd be like, so let me get this straight. You are selling candy and you have herpes. And it's like, no.
Talk about full circle.
Acting.
I mean, it's like acting 101.
Exactly.
That is something else, I tell you. And now we have music. What are you going to play for us, my friend?
Well, my roots were, my first roots were Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and then as I got to my own bands, the Allman Brothers were very, very big for me, and then later on Elvis Costello. So from Elvis to Elvis, one was one hit you in the groin, the other hit you in the brain. So it's like kind of balanced out a little bit. So I'm gonna play a little.
I interviewed the Allman Brothers on PBS way back, and they were just
And you'll know this one. It's like,
Take one last look before you leave. It's all somehow means so much to me. And if you ever need me, know just where I'll be. So please go home. If you change your mind, oh, I don't mind. And I know you're used to running. You lost, baby girl, and ain't funny. And when you're calling me, girl, I come running straight to your side. Again, I confide in you. So go ahead on, baby. I won't say no more. My heart ain't in it, but I hold the door. Just remember what I said before. Please go home. If you change your mind, oh, baby, no, I don't mind. Call if you change your mind. Please call home if you change your mind. Call if you change your mind. Call if you change your mind.
That is really amazing, my friend. That is really, really good. I'm going to ask for one more, if you have one more, because
Yeah.
you've worked really hard on the audio setup, didn't you? Because the audio is, you know,
Is it good?
phenomenal. It's really good. Yeah, it's really, really good.
All right, so let me see. Let me tune up and I will play a note.
You got it. You got it. We'll check in with some of the lovelies here. Austin Field says, very nice song. You got all kinds of emojis coming in here on the Jim Master Show live. We've got guitars and claps and music notes and hearts from Merlin in Canada. We've got, let's see, Austin from Ann in Jacksonville, Florida. Juanita says, oh my goodness, beautiful voice from Juanita in South Africa. Mary Bishop, wonderful. Jack. Tesla Bella says, oh my God, so good. And Charles Chesler, he's got all kinds of cool emojis too. And Bosniak says, awesome.
Charles always.
Charles, absolutely. Charles in charge.
He is an amazing photographer, by the way.
Love to have him on. Maybe we can show some of his work.
Well, there we go. You made a connection, Charles.
That's it. We'll show some of his beautiful work on the show because we have a variety of guests.
That should be it.
All right.
Ooh, no.
Not quite. Hello, Charles.
Wasn't up for rock and roll, right?
Charles says, love you, Jack. And he says, hello.
He's the man.
Absolutely.
So this is an Elvis Costello song called Memories.
Oh, yeah.
Lying about, laying in bed. Maybe it was something that I thought I'd said. With the tempo of today and the temptation of tomorrow, I don't know if I could give you anything but sorrow. They Stay Alive is laid on Radio 5, but the pen that I write with won't tell the truth. And the moments that you can't recall are moments that you treasure. Better take another measure for measure. Losing you is just a memory. Memories don't mean that much to me. Losing you is just a memory. Memories don't mean that much to me. Now you're here and I'm here too. Could this be easy for me and you? Losing you is just a memory. Memories don't mean that much to me. Losing you is just a memory. Memories don't mean that much to me. Lying about, laying in bed. Maybe it was something that I thought I'd say.
Really, really nice. I love that.
Thank you.
Really love that. That's you. You're really, really talented, my friend. Multi-talented in so many different areas. Do you have any music that's out, CDs or anything that people can acquire? Some of them have asked about that.
I will update you on that because I do have a couple of things out there.
I love that answer. That is such a great answer. I will update you on that because I have a few things out there. That is such a great answer.
There's actually
it's almost like you were on the witness stand. I will update you on that because I have a few things out there. Can we resume tomorrow?
actually, there's 2 songs out on YouTube right now. If you go to my page, Jack,
People have asked. Yeah.
look up "Song of Hope" and look up what is the other one?
Tess said that. Tess said she loves your Song of Hope.
The feeling after the fall. Yes, Tess. Thank you. Tess is like one of my champions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, if you get Tess on your side, you're a winner. I
Yeah.
know. She's amazing. She's a bundle of energy, isn't she?
Oh my God.
I love her. Yeah.
Oh my God.
All of our lovities here are fantastic.
All the lovities. I'm feeling the lovity.
Do you feel it? There's a certain vibe, isn't there?
Yeah, there really is. And there's nothing like
place.
performing live. There really isn't.
There's nothing like performing live. You were mentioning to me that you have some things that you're working on. You're going to be probably headed to Atlanta and other cool things.
Crossing fingers right now. It's a rom-com being shot down in Atlanta. I've got a couple of other things in the pipeline. I do want to shoot my short film, Disclosure, which is a 2-hander, and it's about intrigue and skullduggery and murder and mayhem and life. So it's that is certainly on the horizon. But now that the industry is opening up, I mean the possibilities and the opportunities are going to be right there. It's going to be great. There it is. Yes.
We were just having a little pregnant pause as we were setting things up, and you handled that beautifully. You just, you knew the glass almost became like a prop.
There was
I don't see Jim. Jim must be doing something technical. I'll grab the glass, so nonchalant. That'll pass a second or two while they set up the video.
Well, here we go. Creating Rem Lezar. You showed one of the pictures of me, like looking very godlike, and for some strange reason, the internet and the miracle that is the internet has rediscovered Rem Lezar, which is a children's fantasy musical. And I play the singing superhero that is their imaginary friend. And we both go on a journey. We all three go on a journey to find the highest point of the imagination. And it was written and directed by Scott Zacharin. And Scott and I have been in talks because of the amazing response to it this generation later that is founded on the internet. And he has found the 1-inch copy, the pristine copy. He's going to digitize it. And then we are going to do some behind the scenes, do a 1 hour. It's a 42-minute film or something like that.
Yeah.
Do about maybe 18 minutes of like photographs, behind the scenes footage of making it, and then get it out there as a documentary pretty much. And then we are going to shoot an animated feature of Rem Lezar.
Wow, that is exciting.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Yeah,
I watched it. We won't play the whole thing because it's like 48 minutes, but we'll show some of it so people get a really cool idea of what it's all about.
If you could show "Reach with Your Heart" with me and Ashley in the woods, that would be great because it's a gorgeous song.
Do you know how far into it that is?
My God,
is it towards the beginning?
You would probably know. It'd be like maybe half an hour in or so.
About a half hour in?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So let's see. Can you see us sort of scanning it?
Yeah, that's Ashley. There you go.
So maybe you'll see like a certain point where it'll click
in the woods. Yeah, we'll be in the woods.
So you're in the woods when you do it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
And that's when they bring me to life.
Do you want to show that too?
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, that's great right there.
All right, so let's show that part, right? We'll bring it to that point.
That's cute.
All right, here we go.
So they've built this dummy, right? Who they both imagined is Rem Lezar separately. So they both had this vision of who he was in their own separate minds. And now that they've come together, they built him out of like, they took a dummy and made me. So drawing the inference there.
That sounded like a Rodney Dangerfield joke or something. I get no respect. That is funny. All right, let's check that out. This is sort of like about 15 minutes into the actual full-length movie, but it's a cool scene, and let's check it out right now.
Let's go. And where should we start looking? I don't know. There's a whole world out there. Zach, we're not going to find it in a closet or a store like the other things. The medallion is special. We have to face it. We've done everything possible, but we can't make our fantasy for real. Then let's do the impossible. Come on, Ashley, you can't give up. What are we gonna do now? Don't worry, Ashley. Everything's going to be all right. We ask, is our fantasy for real? Or is it just a dream that we hold with all our might? We need him here tonight. This night we created Lezar.
Fantasies for real, created from your dreams. You believe with all your might. I'll tuck you in tonight. Good night and sweet dreams from Lezar.
It wasn't just a dream, was it? He really was here, right? I think. I mean, as usual, he was here when we needed him most. But it was different this time. It felt like he really was here.
Good morning.
Ram, you're alive! You can talk!
Quixotic vision, I can. I can touch. I can feel. I can hear. And I can see.
Why?
You needed me.
How?
You believed in me.
Where?
Thank you.
Rem, what about the medallion? What about the quixotic medallion? But Rem, you don't need it, otherwise you wouldn't be here now. We didn't know where to find it, Rem.
On and on and on. The quixotic medallion is never really gone. If you close your eyes and look into your mind, for what you seek is what you'll find.
Who are you?
Don't you recognize me, Zach? It is I, Vorak, who also lives within your dreams and fantasies.
You mean our fears and nightmares.
Facing your fears isn't so hard. It all depends upon how you look at them. It won't work, Vorak.
We're not afraid of you, Borak. Lezar always chases away our fears. They all went away. But why is Warlock still here?
I am here because I never left. I start at the beginning and end there too.
Starts at the beginning and ends there too. Rem! Warlock has the Quixotic medallion.
It is not there. Only I, Vorok, know where the Quixotic medallion is hidden, and only I will have it when the sun goes down.
Warlock, give it back
Or what, little Zack? You would have rid yourself of my vision long ago if you were able. Besides, I am your only hope for finding the Quixotic medallion.
We'll find it.
You see, my little tot-tots, your imagination was strong enough to bring Lezar to life. But without the medallion, he will only last as long as the day. For the night is my time. You'll both be afraid once again, and with your help and the powers of the Quixotic medallion, Lezar will disappear forever!
And what makes you so sure they won't be able to find it before the sun goes down, Vorok?
It is hidden at the highest point that the mind can go. A place so high, most people are not able to find it in the course of their entire lifetime.
Like we said, we'll find it.
Go ahead, search as high as you can. It's within reach. The question is it within your reach?
That is really cool.
That's cool.
That is really cool. I want to find that other part that you're talking about where they're in the woods. So let's see. You could probably.
So what we do is we go through the entire city, and they're trying to find the highest point of the imagination. We run upon, a doo-wop troupe. We run upon a rapper. We run upon the Twin Towers, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, I see that right there. Yeah.
Then we go to there's Vorok at the top of the Twin Towers, and then we go to the country, right? And then Rem splits up into two, right? And he takes one to a place, and then has a talk with each one of them. And then she's like really scared because she can't find Zach, and he's just going to like sing the showstopper, which is called "Reach with Your Heart," and it's beautiful.
So this is about 33 minutes in. You think it's right around here?
It's further up. It's further up.
Yeah. Towards the end.
Yeah. See, they flip. Okay, when he's with her, right?
Yeah.
Coming up right here.
Right here. All right. Right there.
Perfect.
All right. Let's hear that. All right. This is cool.
Beyond every night, you will find the sun. Life is a wonder, and it's just begun to find the love in you. Time invites you to dream and grow. Life invites you to seek and know. To believe what your dreams are of brings the heart of your dreams toward love. Reach with your heart, my little one. Beyond every night, you will find the sun. Life is a wonder, and it's just begun to find the love in you.
That is really nice, huh?
Beautiful. Written by Mark Mulcahy, and the guy who played Vorok, that's actually Scott Zacharin, the writer and the director.
Is it really?
Yeah. So,
and the kids are great too.
It is a beautiful song. It is a beautiful song.
And the kids that you were working with, they were terrific.
Terrific. Absolutely terrific. Jonathan was actually my next door neighbor. His dad was the one who got me in Porky's. He was Bob Clark's associate producer. So it comes full circle, right?
So remember what they said about who you know? It still applies.
It's true.
So this again was shot when? How long ago was that?
89.
That was in 1989.
Yeah,
Wow.
they only printed up about 10,000 VHS copies, right? And then somebody, the power of the internet,
Yeah.
put on there. So that generation, but kids were like mesmerized by it.
Oh yeah.
And so when that generation grew up, so they're like now, in their 30s, mid 30s or early 30s, and they're like Rem Lezar. I remember Rem Lezar. Oh my! And before you know it, there's like, pages with 10,000 and just like thousands and thousands of comments. And then this outlet, Red Letter Media, caught hold of it, and they were talking about how it is like so bizarre that it's really bad, but it's really good. They couldn't stop watching it, and
kind of like Land of the Lost.
It's got a life of its own now. So now that Zach and I are Scott Zachary and I are like talking about digitizing it, getting the behind the scenes stuff, and then raising that money to make the animated feature. So it all comes full circle.
I think that I think there's a lot of space for something like that. I think kids need to hear those messages and feel some of those feelings. That's why look at the I know from my years still working with public television, one of the hats I wear, look at this resurgence of love from Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Look and things like that, with like a positive message that have some sort of especially for children, but even for the adults too. I mean, there's this like nostalgic feeling of innocence and warmth and maybe a simpler time that people are absolutely craving. And now with everything we've been through in the last year or so, there's a deep craving for more of that now more than ever.
I think so. I really do think so. And, it just goes to show the power of the message and the power of music, right?
Yes.
And it was so funny because when the Snickers commercial hit, right, then it was on YouTube. There was one page that had like 14 million hits. You go into the comments and you could hear people going, "Oh my God, that's Rem Lezar," because they recognized the voice. And I just never put that together, but my God, it did resonate, right? So it's really just an amazing thing. It's kind of a miracle, really.
It really is. Did you know that it would turn into what it did then while you were doing it, or not really?
No, I mean, like I said, Scott and his brother Charles Chuck Zachary, they only printed up 10,000 copies, right? I got one to my nieces and nephews who were of the perfect age, right? And my sister Terry called me, like, I don't know, several months later. She goes, "Have you got another one?" I'm like going, "What happened?" She goes, "We played it so much, it broke." You know how hard it was to break a VHS just by playing it? It was like a lesson.
It's like,
I have one more copy and I'm keeping that.
With how uncanny this story is, it reminds me very similarly of a certain time period where one of my friends who I've worked with for a long time via public television was the national program director for Connecticut Public Television in Hartford, Connecticut. And his daughter saw a VHS tape of this big purple dinosaur named Barney. There was nothing. It was just a tape. Like you said, they made a certain amount of copies, and it was this woman who came up with the Barney character, and she did a video series. His daughter, the same thing. His daughter wore out that VHS tape. The response was incredible. So he brought it to the president of Connecticut Public Broadcasting. He took it home for the weekend. He says, "There's something here. My kid is going wild for this purple dinosaur," which is, again, it's just over-the-counter bookstore video tape. They took a shot with it and they pitched it to national PBS. And from that one VHS tape, when they approached the woman who created it and the company that she used to create that VHS series, it turned into a national. Barney became Barney the Purple Dinosaur, and the rest is history. And that,
right? Kids know.
The similarity to that story is uncanny.
Yeah.
Which means there probably is a second life for that, huh?
Well, tomorrow is being declared Lezar Day. Every May 1st is going to be declared Lezar Day, and it's going to be shown in its entirety on Scener, which is a plugin for Google Chrome. So if you want to see it, it'll be on 8 o'clock tomorrow night and in its entirety.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Just want to show you. Tess says, of course, an animated series. I can so see that. Juanita says, so cool. Kathy Short says, wonderful. Kathleen, all kinds of claps. Austin Field says, very cool movie clips. He's loving it. Bravo from Merlin in Canada. So Canada wants to see it. Canada. Oh, Canada. So beautiful. Love how you interact with the kids. And that was great from Mary in Florida. And again, that like a positive role model.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids don't have that anymore to the degree that they had.
Yeah.
And right. A lot of, yeah. Right. No Milli Vanilli stuff. Right. Why do you love what you do so much?
It first of all, it gives me great joy, right? If I was here in this house by myself, I would be able to entertain myself for days without being bored at all. But I do like what it brings to other people. I like the joy that it brings to other people. And it's just a form of communication, right? That's, you can't see it in the air, but you can certainly feel it. And when I'm teaching, some of my students, I always say, you tell the truth, right? What comes from the heart goes to the heart. And that comes from like writing, that comes from acting, and that comes from music. And certainly it's like music more than anything, because for me, it was like the very first thing that was, my sensories like picked up on, and that I had a feel for. So
what's on the bucket list? You mentioned, some upcoming projects that are happening close by, calendar wise, but how about as far as like things that are on the horizon, things that you would love to be able to participate in and be a part of? Are there some bucket list things for you that you still want to do, my friend? Because you've touched upon so many incredible areas.
I will try my hand at directing at some point. So, yeah. And I am producing 2 major motion pictures. They're biopics. One is of the golfer Payne Stewart, and the other one is about the NASCAR god Bobby Allison. So we're going to be shooting the Payne Stewart one sometime later this year, and the Bobby Allison one early 2022.
Have you been back to Ireland?
I have not. And believe me, after Brothers McMullen broke, they were like, you go over there, you will not pay for a drink.
Yeah.
Yes. I know that.
Yes. It's
save your money. I'm sober.
Yeah. I'll just have the pretzels. That's it. And maybe some ginger ale.
The conversation.
It's in the spring, actually, before I launched this entertainment lifestyle talk show series, I was supposed to be in Ireland, actually, on a TV shoot. And I'm hoping that a little bit later on, we'll be able to get back over there. Do you know what areas your family hails from within Ireland?
I have family in Waterford, in Tipperary, and in Limerick. And in the old country,
those great names: Tipperary, Limerick, Waterford.
And in the old country, it's pronounced Mulcahy, right?
Yes.
And if you go even further back, it's Mulcahy, so son of, right?
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. And Charles says, fantastic. Austin Field says, another wonderful show. Merlin asks, do you like Shakespeare?
I love the Bard. I absolutely adore Shakespeare. And, there can be Jeopardy clues out of nowhere, right? And it's like when they come up, it's like, oh yeah, that's the Tempest. Oh, that is from King Lear. And then you can name all the daughters, and then you can name all the characters, and it's just like, oh my God, because he wrote what we were living 500-600 years ago.
Right.
He never missed a trick. It's like, how much did he travel?
Right.
It's just absolutely amazing. I love Shakespeare.
What have you learned about yourself in this year of reflection?
Gratitude. I learned that I am incredibly resilient. I'm self-reliant, but I'm also very quick to help. Right? We have a saying at the union. It's like, if you need help, ask. If you can help, give. And
Are you my cousin? Because we're kindred spirits. I just did a whole pop-up show on that this afternoon. I think we're kindred spirits.
That's true. I think we are, Jim.
Best way to be.
Yeah, it is.
Best way to be. Merlin asks, have you been? She likes to ask the guests, have you been to Stratford, Ontario?
No, I have been to Toronto. My mother was from Winnipeg, and I still have family in Saskatoon. So, and some in Vancouver as well. So I'm spread out all over.
Prior to everything that happened last year, did you get a chance to travel a lot? And are there some places that you'd like to check out, whether it's being involved in a production that is traveling, like a national tour or something?
As I mentioned earlier, I'd done 2 safaris in Africa. One in South Africa, fantastic, and gone to Tanzania a little bit. I've traveled and spent close to 3 months in Indonesia. Started a band while I was there.
Really?
Yeah, mostly in Bali. And that was just an amazing experience.
Incredible, yeah.
Because it is, it's a Muslim culture and it's a benign dictatorship, basically. But the people are just like so incredibly generous. And a very quick story, I had an open air 2-story house in the middle of a rice paddy. And every day I'd come home from the beach and I'd grab my guitar and I would start playing. And I would turn around and there would be 15 people who were working the rice paddies just sitting there listening to me without a sound. I wouldn't even know that they were there. They were just sitting there squatting, and I would turn around and they would just like have the greatest expressions on their face for the gratitude that they had for the music, because that's what penetrates, right? That's what just gets out there into the universe. And when it's true, what comes from the heart goes to the heart.
You are my cousin, because we just talked about that this afternoon. It's really true from the heart, when it's authentic, when it's real, when it's true.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. And when you're living authentically and you're living your bliss, people are attracted to that. And people feel it, whether it's through what we're doing professionally or just how we live as people.
Yeah.
It's really important when you get a chance to share it. Charles asks, is it going to be Jack and the Jackettes? Maybe. Never say never, right? Never say never. Austin Field says, another wonderful show. Charles says, fantastic.
That's code, because Charles knows that's my go-to line from Girlboxer. Fantastic. Because all these guys are betting on the Russian, and I'm like going, on the Russian, because I'm taking all the money, right?
Right.
Fine. Everything on the Russian, fine.
That is funny. I love that. And Juanita here says, music is the universal language. You're spot on, my friend. It really, really is.
Truly.
This was really cool, my friend. This was amazing. I can't believe we chatted for just under 2 hours. Does it?
Wow.
Everybody says it never feels like that. It just never, and Tess wants to play with the,
we'll get you on the softball team, Tess.
You never played against Channel 2, huh? Jim Jensen and his channel.
Actually.
Jim Jensen, the softball team with Jim Jensen.
I had great memories of Jim Jensen.
He's one of my favorites.
He was fantastic. And Letterman had a team. And then Letterman sponsored 2 of my championship teams over the last, 6 years, including the last year that he was on the air.
That is cool. That is cool.
So it's like, and some of my best gigs have come from playing softball. So.
From playing softball. Absolutely. Have you marched in the St. Patrick's Day Parade?
I have.
That's an experience, isn't it?
I have, especially after Brothers McMullen broke, right? And you can imagine. We were like the darlings of New York.
You were the darlings.
I pay for a drink for like almost 3 years. So
right. All the bangers and mash you want.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that is funny. My friend, this was amazing. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had. This has been a glorious 2 hours of levity, crack, good conversation, great viewer interaction from around the world. You are welcome back anytime. Spread the word about our show. We would love that. And tell a friend, as they say.
I'd like to give a shout out to my managers, Brewer Talent, Genevieve Brewer and her partner Tracy Heller, and to my agency, Eris Talent, Michelle Peacock and Lisa Rosenbaum. Love you guys.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Fantastic.
You forgot about Aunt Millie. Didn't you want to thank her too?
Oh, yeah, thank you,
Aunt Millie. And
good night, Moon.
I accept this award. Well, hey, look, you got a levity tonight. You got a levity.
A lot of levity.
You can't miss without that. Merlin in Canada says hugs. Tess Labella says good night, Jim. Thank you so much. Of course, Tess, always love you back. And Charles says this was great. Thank you. Our pleasure. Mary Bishop says, yes, Charles, you should pop on and we could take a look at some of your amazing photography. Our friend here, Jack, can hook you up. Let's connect and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We would love that. Tess Labella says, good night, Jack, and sweet dreams. What a great conversation. Levity, you got it. And Charles says, cool. And Charles, hope to see your photos on the show soon. Absolutely. And hugs from Merlin and more coming in here. Anne says, thank you, Jack, for such a fun evening. My youngest brother's name is Jack.
Love him already.
We love him already. Absolutely. I'm sure you've got a couple of Kathys in your family, don't you? Or Mary, at least.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah. So do I. Kathy, Kathleen, Catherine.
Yes.
Kitty. Yeah. Let's see some more coming in here. Great conversation. This is Juanita. Thank you, Jack, for your time, sharing your stories, wonderful music with us. Perfect. I knew you guys would love Jack. Kathleen in New York. Thank you for sharing your life and talents with us, Jack. Nice meeting you. Stay safe. She is in Queens. She's the Queen of Queens.
Excellent.
And Merlin, thank you, Jack. It's been awesome meeting you. Charles says, so good hearing all the stories, Jack. And again, Tess wants to be on the baseball team. And that's it. He played the Channel 2 All-Stars with Jim Jensen. That's cool. Not many people say they can say that. And Charles says, cool. My friend, this was terrific. And there was somebody else that was watching tonight. God was actually with us. And, you know, when you have God on your side, it's always a good thing.
Love it.
George Burns.
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. He loved it. He had a good time, and he wishes you well.
Thank you so much, Jim. This was awesome.
My pleasure, my friend. My pleasure. Spread the word. We shall do the same. And it was cool having you on. And again, you're welcome back anytime. We'll keep the porch light on for you. You stay healthy. You be well. Good luck with everything. Let's stay in touch, and hopefully, you know, I'll be in the city there, and we'll break bread, and that would be, I'd love to do that. That would be fantastic.
Excellent. Good night, everybody.
All right. Cheers, my friend. We'll chat again soon, and you have a great weekend. Okay, Jack?
You do the same.
All right. Good night.
Everybody. Bye.
Amazing. Fantastic. And we had an awesome time. And thanks for joining us, everybody. You guys are great. This is the place, as you know, for inspiring conversations, great entertainment, amazing guests, live viewer interaction, levity. You're watching the Jim Masters Show live. We really enjoyed Jack. Now, you've probably seen him in a lot of different things over the years, and maybe now you had an opportunity to really learn about the man behind what you've seen and what you've heard over the years. And I think that's really cool. We sometimes go on a deep dive when we chat with our fantastic, amazing guests. We always sort of go the extra mile a little bit and learn a little bit more about the person. And you guys are always great. The Levity viewers are always amazing at chiming in and asking questions. And I love that. I like the fact that we created this really amazing place on the air in the community. Again, I've interviewed probably over 6,000 people in my career, and it just every single time is just as if it's brand new to me, even though it's something I've done, and of the many things I've done in this industry, Every time it's just like brand new. I'm like the audience as much as I am the host. And I love that. And we love our viewers again from all around the world, the Lovities. Another comment coming in. Everybody's saying thank you. Appreciate that. We're going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we have a very special episode. We're going to be on earlier tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are on at 3 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. with a brilliant author live from Los Angeles. This is Michael Shevik. He has written an extraordinary new book. He's going to be with us live on the Jim Masters Show Live coming up at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. That is on our Saturday edition of the Jim Masters Show Live. I don't want to give away what his topic is in the book. I'd love to have you here, whether you watch live or you watch this later in the archives, to hear his amazing story. It really is incredible. Then on Sunday afternoon, this is tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday afternoon, we have Talk About Irish. This is Rosa O'Reilly. She's a 14-year-old musical phenom. She is the cousin of Keith Harkin from Celtic Thunder originally. Keith was on our show back in December. This is his cousin Rosa. She's 14 years old. She sings, she dances. She's been on all those competition shows in Europe. She's incredible. She's a bundle of love and energy. And she's going to be with us 2 p.m. Eastern this Sunday, live from Ireland. Her other cousin is Rebecca Harkin, who was also a guest on our show when she was live from Australia. You're going to love Rosa O'Reilly, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And that is 7 p.m. for those watching in Ireland, England, Scotland, and other parts of Europe. That is on Sunday. Then Sunday night, we have another show, Double Lovity on Sunday. Savella is going to be with us live with great music, inspiring conversation, and so much more. She has incredible new music out. You're going to hear it on our show on Sunday. That's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific. So Rosa is with us at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on Sunday. And then also on Sunday night, Savella is going to be with us live, and it's going to be amazing. Then on Monday, Canadian actor and singer and performer Ryan Silverman is going to be with us live. He's been in many Broadway and off-Broadway productions, film, television, so much more. He's all excited. He's going to be with us coming up on Monday. Tuesday, wonderful actor, writer, and playwright and producer Giles Howe is going to be with us live from Florida. Then on Wednesday, Jason Gray is going to be with us. He is a brilliant actor, Broadway performer, and so much more. Film, television, you name it. He is a legend in the industry. He's going to be with us. Then on Thursday, Marty Thompson, known as the Aussie crooner, originally from Australia, lives in Nashville, Tennessee, USA. You've probably seen him on our show through the comments. He often comments during our show because he's a big fan of the Jim Masters Show Live. And his brother is the wonderful entertainer and impressionist Jason Thompson, who was a guest on our show live from Hollywood, California. Just about, 2-3 weeks ago, Jason was on. So this is his brother, Marty, who's a brilliant entertainer and singer. He's with us on Thursday. It's going to be really cool. Friday, incredible musician and songwriter and musical director and so much more. Tracy Stark is going to be with us live from New York City on Friday. That is a week from this Friday. At the time of this live broadcast, Tracy Stark's going to be with us. It's amazing. Then a week from this Saturday, Ryan Duncan, brilliant actor. Ryan Duncan is going to be with us live on the Jim Masters Show Live. And that is just a few of the amazing guests, just a few of the amazing guests that are coming up. Tomorrow is the brilliant author, Mike Shevik. He's going to be with us live from Los Angeles. It's going to be amazing. And then again, Saturday. And so Mike is 3 p.m. Eastern. Again, early show, special time, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. And then Rosa O'Reilly live from Ireland. That is Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. If you miss any of it, all of it will be available in our archives on Jim Masters TV. Then Sunday night, Savella. She's going to be here to entertain us with great music and so much more on the Jim Masters Show live. If you've missed any of this, a terrific episode tonight. If you missed the very special afternoon episode I did, we did a host chat pop-up show, Living in Gratitude. And it was a really special episode. Check it out. I think you'll really be inspired by it. I did it this afternoon. We popped up right around 2 p.m. It wasn't planned. It wasn't promoted. It wasn't scheduled. It was one of our pop-up shows. It's available for your binge watching on our YouTube channel at jimmasterstv. You can see it right now. And some really inspiring and poignant messages and moments that I shared with our audience and with the world in that episode. And we do a lot more of that. So if you missed any of our episodes, we've reached 400 episodes of the Jim Masters Show live as of tonight, which absolutely, that amazes me, doing it 7 days a week in conjunction with my professional work in television and radio. It was a very busy day. It was on the air all day today in my professional world. And we love coming here and doing this show for you. Kathy Short says, Jim, you have been a breath of fresh air this past year. Thanks for all you do for us. My pleasure, Kathy in Cleveland. And Merlin says, thanks, Jim. Great show tonight. My pleasure, Merlin. Glad you enjoyed it. And Ann says, fun evening. Thank you, Jim. Good night, all. You as well, Ann. Kathleen Walker says, thanks, Jim. Another great show. Sending you much levity as always. Have a great night. Good night, all. You too, Kathleen. Love it. And Christine Clifton says, thanks, Jim, for a wonderful conversation with Jackie. So versatile, so much levity tonight. Wow. So many great upcoming guests. See you all tomorrow night, or tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be on tomorrow. And good night, Jim, and levities. Hugs to all from Christine Clifton in North Carolina, USA. Mary Bishop says, good night, everyone. Take care. You too, Mary in Florida, Juanita in South Africa. Great show. Thanks, Jim. Levity Hall is the best place to be. I agree. I absolutely agree. Tess LaBella, thank you so very much, Tess. We love you in Florida. Good night, Jack. Sweet dreams. What a great conversation. Levity. What a wonderful evening tonight. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Absolutely. Cool stuff, right? Yes. And Charles agrees. Charles says, cool. And Charles, yes, if you're still listening, love to have you on the show. We could take a look at some of your photography, and that would be really a pleasure. Don't forget, gang, the channel that you're watching right now, the show is the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. We would absolutely love it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the show, or the channel you're watching right now, Jim Masters TV. Share it with the world. Tell everybody you know about our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the notification bell so you never miss any of our live, daily, fun-filled episodes of JMS Live. Also, you never miss out on any of our random pop-up shows, plus other surprises we have for you with our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Really, really cool. So subscribe to it, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of the action, and tell everybody to check out our channel, love it, and love everything that we are doing, because we sure as heck love putting this all together for you, and we're just getting started. It's a 1-year anniversary as of next week, and we are literally just getting started. I'm all in here, gang. Good night, everyone. You as well. We work really hard behind the scenes to put these shows together, to entertain, inform, and educate, and put a smile on your face. So, as we always say, this is a little bit of a ritual here. We say, don't forget to smile. Share the smile. It's the best contagion you can have. And don't forget to share the levity. Again, check out our pop-up show we did this afternoon titled Living in Gratitude. It was really a very special episode. Check that out on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. Find your Zen place. Mine is always with loving family and friends. And then, of course, tennis and music and writing. And, of course, the ocean. Living here in the Northeast in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. That is the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. You got to drag me out of the ocean. Swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, sailing, walking it, sailing it, just being near it brings me great zen and great balance. So does the work that I do in this unpredictable, fast-paced, crazy industry of television, radio, stage, film, and so much more. I love what I do, and hopefully that shows. Hopefully you pick up that vibe through whether it's this show or other things maybe that you've seen me or heard me do in this career. And as we always say on every episode of the Jim Masters Show Live, you know what's coming up next, right, gang? We say relax. Don't forget to relax. Don't forget to love one another and breathe. Breathe through the diaphragm and love yourself. Make sure you take a moment to love yourself. It's really important to do that, not in an egotistical, narcissistic way, but in a way that reminds you that you're of great value. And everybody's welcome to our show. So relax and breathe. Everybody's welcome here on the Jim Masters Show Live, regardless of your income, your zip code, your height, weight, religious views, political views, gender, none of that matters. It's just that you're here with us and you have a good, solid time. And you leave maybe with your cup filled. I certainly do, hosting and producing these shows. So hopefully it's not just a passing fancy. It's not just something you watch to fill your time. Perhaps it's something that really moves you and is something that you really enjoy. So share it with everybody that you know, that you think would get great pleasure and value out of our entertainment lifestyle talk show series known as the Jim Masters Show Live. And I'm your host, Jim Masters. All right, gang, lots of crack tonight, lots of good times. We love you all. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, again with the brilliant author, Michael Shevak. He's amazing. You're going to love that episode tomorrow on the Jim Masters Show Live. Again, for all of us here, thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jim Masters. Thanking you for your time. This time, till next time, we love you all. Thanks for joining us right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. You have a good night wherever you are around the world. You guys take care of yourselves. Be good to one another. And we'll see you next time. All right? Good night.